I want to open this podcast on another important PSA from Mr. Dillon Harris. As I'm well known, no one cares if you're tired.
Oh, I mean, this hits home for me.
Right?
I've recently started a job in an office. As
Yeah.
you know, and I can pretty much count on at least 3 people in. I mean, I love all my team. Don't get me wrong. If they ever come across this isn't a dig at you.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm guilty of it too.
Okay.
But
I hate your
at least
team.
3 of them. Okay. will complain they're tired. Like when they just come in, it's like, "How are you?" And it's like you're expected to say tired. It's like a normal
Yeah.
thing. And now
It's not an emotion.
I found myself saying it because I am.
Tired.
But I feel like once I say it, I'm like, oh, why did I say
I know, I hate
Like,
myself,
they
yeah.
don't care that I'm tired.
It's also just like, if you're tired, that sounds like you who fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you didn't go to bed early enough or something like that. Like,
Oh, poor thing.
yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
go to bed earlier.
My go-to thing I say to people now when they like say how are you is can't complain,
Can't complain's nice.
because that to me isn't like all right,
Yeah.
good. I'm never,
Alright.
I'm never. Yeah, I'm good. It just feels goofy to say.
I'll say good.
But
Yeah, good.
I'm never gonna say to someone shit.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I also hate people who give you the honest.
who
How are you is casual, you know. I get that the question sounds deeper, but you use it in a very casual way. If I'm passing you, don't fucking tell me, oh, I'm having a rough time. Like, dude,
don't trauma dump on me.
yeah. We're at work here. This is a quick little conversation,
Exactly.
you know.
So I always use can't complain because, in fairness, most of the time can't complain.
Yeah. Life is fine.
Life is not bad. It
Totally.
be worse. I can't
Could be
complain.
worse. Of course, it could be worse.
I'm very lucky to be where I am. So
Yeah, we're all in a forced situation before, for sure. But the thing that annoys me about people saying that they're tired, it kind of feels like they're patting themselves on the back too. Like, oh, I'm right, but I still managed to get up and come here. You know, so yeah, you had to. You know, it's your job, or you have a commitment to.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't believe I have to do this job that I applied for.
Yeah. Or it's like, does telling me that you're tired help at all? Like, no.
Yeah. It's like when
Makes
I
no
was
sense
when
to
I was
me.
a manager and I'd like tell people to do things and they were such a ball ache about it. I'm like, you do understand, like, you're here to do the things I tell you to do.
Yeah.
Like, you're being paid to work, and then when you come into work and I tell you to do something, it's like, oh, what did you expect?
Exactly. It's
You
like,
wanted to work here.
yeah. The task at hand is that you have things that you need to complete. You know, you're not just gonna come here and, you know, masturbate to a Mia Khalifa video and then go home. You know, it's great. The job that would be. That's not the job at hand.
We all are very aware that we don't live in this, you know, false, you know, amazing communist society where no one has to work, and that's never going to happen.
No.
We've all accepted that, you know, in order to live
And be
you need to
independent, you
work.
have to work. Yeah. It's
you
a
know,
pretty fair
whether
system.
you want that to change or not, you can't change that. So you can't.
You can
complain.
change where you work, and you can create opportunities for yourself and make your own business. There's other things you can do if you're not happy with your job, but complaining about the job that you're tired isn't going to help either situations, for sure.
I think that sorry to cut you off again.
No, you're fine.
I think that social
Finish my point.
media has given a very, like, I think it's inspiring people to almost be too competitive now. It
creates so much.
seems like it's leading a lot of, like,
competitiveness.
young men into thinking they have to be a millionaire and they have to do these things in order to be happy. And like, at the end of the day, what makes a man happy is being able to provide and doing the things that give them pleasure. Pause.
Well, you know.
But, like, at the end of the day, that's really all you need. You don't have to be, you know, a millionaire entrepreneur to be happy.
No.
You can
Obviously, that is a genuine goal for yourself that you want to
go for it.
Yeah, but totally. If it's just like you're following a trend,
Just
like,
don't think you have to. 'Cause you
no.
don't.
Yeah. Listening to Diary of a CEO and suddenly you want to be a millionaire. Like, this feels just like you're just being influenced
Yeah.
rather than like a genuine goal you set for yourself based on your own interests. Very true. The important lesson we're learning here today on Dillon and Sebastian Have a Simpsons podcast is that your health is your wealth.
100%.
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the podcast.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, sorry. I know.
I was not expecting that.
Just wanted to throw something silly back into the mix.
You landed weirdly near my penis.
No, it was very, very intentional. Didn't feel anything though.
Ah, well. As we tackled in the last episode, you know what?
Yeah. No, we've been there already. Let's not go down that road again. Anyhow, guys, starting off on a big old tangent, let's jump on into the Telltale Pants. And of course, welcome to Dillon and Sebastian Simpsons podcast. The podcast myself and Sebastian do so that we can afford nicer jeans. Yeah, there you go.
We got some good jeans.
That's nice jeans, yeah, to be fair, yeah. Today's episode is The Telltale Pants, the 16th episode of the 35th season, meaning that we only have 3 more episodes left. So, yeah. Very nearly there. I know, wild. But yeah, jumping on in, we have a nice little quick couch gag. I liked it. It's just the family running to the couch and then they turn into an Andy Warhol painting.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Really. Yeah, I really liked that. The little speech bubble of Homer saying "dough" was nicely done. We open up on Homer struggling to get his top button tied up. He's like, "Come on, stupid neck! After all the food I put down you." And the button flings into his mouth and he starts choking and just stops halfway through and goes, button. He's trying to simulate to marriage to give him the Heimlich. He's points at his knee like knee, ham, lick.
That was smart.
That was fun, yeah, really creative. She tells him to buy a shirt with a bigger neck and he calls her out for neck shaming. Then Grandpa comes in and tells them to hurry and Homer says that they were saving the suit he's wearing for his funeral, for him to be buried in, and Grandpa's like, "This isn't my funeral." We then go to a fashion show. Comic guy enters in a cape, and Gabbo is present. It's just like all the who's who of Springfield they're about. It's the Springy Awards, an annual celebration of the town's finest citizens. Ken Brockman's interviewing people. He asks Miss Hoover what she's wearing. He's like, "Oh, same thing. I always wear the same outfit. I can only afford one dress." And Ken Brockman's like, "Teachers, we can never repay you for what you do, and we won't." Nice little detail there as well is Miss Hoover entered with Gil, who she married in that episode we reviewed with Dave, if you remember.
Yeah.
It's nice that they kept that detail there, yeah, that was cool. And Rainier Wolfcastle enters, he's like, "I'm a presenter, I will be back stage," gobbling up the complimentary paninis. Then Duffman arrives. He's hosting the ceremony that's also sponsored by Duff Light. And Quimby comes out and urges them to go to the Springfield Museum, where admission is free, but parking is $99. He apologizes. The Duffman apologizes for an in memoriam for someone they thought was dead, but was actually alive, but has since actually died. This comes up Hans Moleman, 1931 to just now, and you just hear, I'm still alive. Oh. So good.
This could have been the character you were talking about killing off. That could have been a big reveal.
That would have been funny. They could have done a whole episode. That would be really funny, actually.
It would be weird if they killed off my man, though.
Well, it would just be the thing of he dies all the time.
Well, yeah.
Like Kenny.
They actually killed him off.
Well, what they could just do is have there be a full funeral episode and he just comes at the very end.
Yeah.
And like no one questions it. I think that'd be funny. I dig it. You can find out more about him maybe, because that's another character there's literally no depth to whatsoever.
It might be best that we keep him.
Yeah, he's funnier. Yeah, just being a one-dimensional, just pathetic old man who keeps fucking dying. I like him the best that way for sure. We see Ned Flanders then wins the nicest guy award. He says he's not worthy and thanks them for playing him off. Maggie is annoyed that she lost the best silent baby award. Just the most specific awards ever at this show. And Sideshow Mel wins for best bow painting. We see that he has the exact same paint that the Simpsons have, but he says that the Simpsons one is askew. And then Marriage wins for Springfield's most underappreciated person. And we found that this whole thing was a dream, which I ended up finding. I found this episode pretty fun, but that was a little bit annoying that it was like 3 or 4 minutes and it was all a dream. A very specific, long dream. But yeah, the whole thing was a dream. It's just Marge not feeling appreciated.
Classic.
Yeah, of course. She goes downstairs to see Bart's giving out the leases, kicking his ribs, and she's kicking Bart back, and Homer says he's going for a shower, and he's going to sing in the shower, and he needs backup. They're always like demanding something from her, basically. She goes to visit her mom, who complains about how she never visits, and then she goes to the vet. The Santa will help her, and they say that the vet says that he's developed dogs. So much is happening all at once, basically. He's developed dog Alzheimer's. the grandpa and Santa's little helper start talking to each other. And the vet just goes, I can put down either one right now. We then cut to her collecting Bart from soccer practice. We see that he broke both of his middle fingers. And we cut to him taking Bart to the hospital. She messages Homer to come and help. And we just see him and Moe just swinging chairs around. Just the most Homer thing ever. Just having the time of his life while Mart's having his stressful day. Just swinging the chairs around at the bar. We see that Moe has the Wi-Fi turned off. He's like, the only thing I want going into their brains is booze. And Homer breaks a window and his phone starts pinging. We see he has like all these missed calls from Marge. Lenny checks his phone and is like, my father's in the hospital as a patient. Such a Lenny gag. We cut to him heading home. Marge is furious. And he just goes, can you fix my pants? My ass hangs out. Totally fucking broken pants. He's still wearing them. He gives them to her and he's like, oh yeah, I'll fix them, just like how I fix all of our problems. And she doesn't go to bed and she's watching a TV show called Trash for Cash, where she sees that jeans, Levi jeans, where there's an extra E in it, are worth good money, and she sees that those are exactly Homer's pants. And that also a distressed wear increases the value to at least $2,600. Yeah. Very absurd, yeah.
It's true though.
Really?
Yeah, people buy like jeans that look more worn in.
Interesting.
It's like there's a whole craze with like workwear clothes, which I'm guilty of doing. Yeah. Of like Dickies and Carhartt clothes that like people like, especially the Carhartt jackets.
Yeah.
Like, the more worn in they look, the more expensive they become.
That's interesting.
It's kind of sad.
It is weird, yeah, but I kind of get it too for jeans. There's a weird culture with jeans. Like, some people think, like, some people are religious, but like never washing your jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should only get rid of the dirt, like, just manually.
I think it depends on the jeans.
The quality of the jeans, for sure.
Like, like, it's funny, a lot of people online, like, labourers and stuff that actually buy Carhartt or something for its like actual use. Like it's great because we just buy it and then once we've used it a bunch, sell it for more money.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. If you're fucking sick of it, and it feels too worn for you, go get your $2,600. That'd be fucking amazing. But yeah, she hides the pants in her hair, and Homer comes in and is like, oh, you have a loose hair, and puts the jeans into her hair fully. And we got her in the car and she's listening to a song about how Levi jeans make you money. It's such a stupid song, but I really liked it. It was so dumb. It was just exactly about what she was doing. I'm going to make money off my jeans. And also singing about sweatpants, because Homer is proudly wearing sweatpants because his pants are torn, obviously. Great, just like a parody of like to the tone of Elton John sort of songs.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really good. I liked it. We then cut to him... Homer goes into work. He like throws all the staff donuts into his sweatpants, and Marge heads to the haberdashery. Great little pun there. And she's served by Compo Guy's cousin, Collectible Pants Dude, and he offers her $20 for the pants, but she tells him she watched the show and she knows that they're worth a lot more. He's like, oh, zoinks! Well, I see you know pants. Therefore, my offer is $22. She says she knows that they're worth at least $3,000. He says he must have the pants, as the rear is perfectly distressed. So they weren't even distressed, they were just torn. The ass was totally hanging out. He says that clunkable clothes are his one addiction, as well as cannabis gummies, which just makes sense. I know it's not Compo Guy, but it's the exact same character.
Yeah.
Makes sense that he would like cannabis gummies. And he offers her $2,995. They're worth $3,000, so goes down $5 less. Typical haggling. She thinks of all the things that she can do with that much money, like for her family's future. She could pay for a week of Lisa's college, or Bart could get like a full body tattoo. She starts like catastrophizing in her head, or has to put Maggie into a rehab center. We then cut to, this is my favourite sequence of the whole episode. It comes out of nowhere. It's like a weird little side bit, but it was great. It's Burns just begrudgingly watching Oppenheimer. Saying,
it makes so much sense.
So much sense. He would be annoyed by his popularity. He's begrudgingly watching Oppenheimer and says that he's so sick of hearing about that jerk. And like, oh, I built a bomb once, but you didn't hear me going on about it. And complains about Oppenheimer being like, I made a bomb and then they actually dropped it. Oh, boo-hoo. Smithers says that he preferred another movie last summer. And Burns was like, another movie besides Oppenheimer? Like, yes, sir, a global phenomenon. I was like, really? Global, you say? Very clever thing that they saw. They're like, obviously Mr. Burns would love Oppenheimer and Smithers would love Barbie, which were the two biggest movies last year. Very clever.
True, very true.
Yeah, very well done. And we see that he loved the movie so much that he dyed like his hair pink. And Mr. Burns is like, oh, you seem to be bleeding from the head. And like, it's dye, sir. Die in your own time. And they put on the hazmat outfits, power plant outfits. He takes Smithers, Homer, Lenny, and Carol in there telling them about the dragon's tail. And Carol's like, oh, it sounds like a DreamWorks film. He says he's piling uranium all together just before it starts to hit critical mass, and says that Oppenheimer failed to do this, but he's going to succeed it. He's like, oh, he's an idiot, with his always creeping in his bony self into every photo. Should have called him Photo Oppenheimer. So he says his biopic will be longer and its star skinnier, and global annihilation will not be hinted at, but rather the heartwarming climax. And Smithers says the critical mass will lead to an uncontrollable nuclear explosion. And it does start to hit critical mass, and then he's like, the plant's gonna blow. And Carl's like, oh, alarmist. And then Howard is like, swings in. Suits are to bully to get in quickly. Oh yeah, he swings in with his sweatpants and just removes the uranium, not wearing any outfit. And Burns immediately like, oh, who is that sweatpanted Superman who rescued us all, and thanks Homer for saving his life and for giving to reward him, gives him front row seats to a basketball game. He's like, oh, thank you, Mr. Burns. Like, never talk to me again. Saves his life, and it's just like, leave me alone. I always love the detail of just like Burns never knowing who Homer is.
Yeah, I know, to this day, even though he's had so many big moments of him.
It gets funnier the longer the show has gone on. It's just so absurd, like how much he's been through with Homer, and yet doesn't know who he is. Absolutely insane. Like, has tried to marry his wife before, tried to adopt Bart before, has like gone on adventures with Homer to different countries, still doesn't know who he is every time. Such a good detail. Yeah, we then cut to Marge asking Reverend Lovejoy what faith says about spending money just on yourself. He's like, well, I sure don't know about $20, but if you wipe the communion cup, if you give me $20 right now, I'll wipe the communion cup before you take wine from it. She calls Homer to find out where she's at. She wants to like spend the money on both of them, but I realize that he's at a basketball game and didn't tell her. But he says he came here alone. He had guests in mind, but Lenny called and said Carla was busy, and Smithy is either taking Pilates classes or is hosting a Pilates class. And he decided to take the new guy from Ghana to the event, and he clearly just hates basketball. I was like, I have so many questions about your baseball. First, why? She then thanks Homer for clearing up for her what to do with the money. Doesn't tell him about the money, obviously, just thanks her for clearing things up for her, and hangs up. And then Homer and the Ghana guy pop up on the kiss can, and he's like, well, it's part of baseball. Just kisses him. We then cut to her going to like a jewelry store. She asks for the nicest ring that she can buy with nearly $3,000. And the yes guy says a truly meaningful ring should cost at least 3 months' salary. She's like, oh, I don't actually have a salary. Does that make it free? He's like, ooh, nice try. And she says that she has 3 seconds to change her mind about the ring she's looking at. Just, time's up. And buys the ring, immediately feels guilty. He's like walking around Springfield super anxiously, and Helen Lovejoy comes up and asks how she could afford a ring like that with her husband's salary. And she's like, oh, tattletale. And she's like, oh, you casual Christian. And the yes guy just pops up and is like, remember, sales final. Like, for no reason. Yeah, we cut her back at the house. She's starting to get a guilt rash, which she hasn't gotten since she took a bottle of shampoo from a hotel. And it wasn't even open. They could have reused it for somebody else. It's the stupidest thing to feel guilty for. I will admit I'm a victim of, not a victim, a thief of hotels. I'll take towels. I'll take the
You have to.
conditioner, shampoo,
Yeah.
100%. Unless they have it like jammed to the wall, as a lot more do nowadays.
Often their like conditioner and shampoo and stuff's quite shit.
Yeah, it's usually pretty bad. But
Yeah, like. Yeah.
if you say somewhere like a little bit more upper class,
You've got to take it all.
oh yeah, totally. Or when they have like the shower gel's almost like moisturizer, like it's so good. I'm taking that immediately, 100%. And I always just take towels. You never have enough towels. Like,
Oh yeah, you can always have another towel.
yeah, and they're crappy little white ones. Like, yeah, that'll be fine. It's a fucking hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll just take it. Always do it. But yeah, she's trying to hide the ring in a pencil case and just finds like a bunch of cookies. And she's like, how many places does Homer hide cookies? She opens the vegetable drawer and it's just filled with cookies. She then decides to hide it in the attic. And as she goes to the attic, Lisa comes up. She's looking for her old report cards. She remembers that she once got given an A++, which they don't do anymore because it makes other children feel bad. And she's like, this is why we're losing to China. One of the darkest things that Lisa's ever said, but great line. We see Bart's also up there, and he says he's definitely not hiding from the cops. Cut outside. Wiggles is looking around, and he's like, oh, we'll never find them. We see these vandalized their car, saying donut box. And he's like, no respect for the law. Let's get some donuts. So opens up the trunk of his car, it's filled with donuts. We then cut to Homer and Moe's. He says he's in fear that he might be taking marriage for granted. Moe says he's a really lucky guy, and if she doesn't leave him for the next tall, dark and handsome guy that comes along, that she's an idiot, and imagines it possibly being him, even though he's not tall, dark and handsome. And she's like, oh Mo, I love you so much for introducing me to this guy. This tall, dark and handsome guy. I love that even in Mo's own imagination, he's not winning. And then Mo starts singing it. I thought this song was fantastic. Just like a parody of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Yeah.
So great. We spoke about it briefly on last week's podcast about how like the animation here was like kind of crude, but like in a really charming way. Like Mo looked like really weird and evil, but like it was great. They were making it look more kind of Grinchy.
Yeah.
And he like grabs tweezers at one point and like grabs onto Homer's belly, saying that he's fat. Like, it's such a great little weird animation. It ends with him like kicking him out, saying like, oh, he's a really lucky guy. Basically saying he's a really lucky guy, but doesn't realize how lucky he is. As a husband, he would rate him below Henry VIII. Yeah, kicks him out, and Nelson comes in and goes, ha ha. Why did I go so low there? That was Barney. Ha ha. Ha ha. Yeah, it rides his bike over him. It's like, before you, I rode through dog poop. Yeah, Homer goes to the house, ready to apologize to Marge, but immediately is outraged to see that she bought herself a really expensive ring. But then, like, about to go give out to her, but realizes that she left out cookies, and is reminded of how grateful he is for her. Yeah, pretty sweet moment. He sees...
Just to cut you off for a second there.
Mm.
Don't you think Barney would make a lot of sense to be Nelson's dad?
Yeah, that's been there's been like memes and stuff before about that. Like maybe he could be Nelson's dad and stuff, like theories.
It would make sense.
It does really look like an older Nelson, and also like if you look at him and Nelson's mom, them together makes Nelson pretty perfectly. Yeah, it is bizarre. That could be a fun thing to touch on someday, or address it properly in an episode. That'd be cool. But yeah, he's like reminding all the great things Marge has done for her. He sees a picture of a surprise party she threw just because she loves him. We see that she got him tickets for a baseball game that they can go to together. Remembering all the sweet things that she does for him, like putting a sweet note in his lunch every day, or getting him birthday presents and saying birthday presents for the kids and saying it's from both of them. And he says that even as she's sleeping, she's doing nice things for him. Like he puts a bottle of Duff next to their bedside locker, and she just puts a coaster down immediately. And he grabs a ring, puts it on her finger, and says that the only thing that he wishes is that he bought it for her. Quite a sweet,
very sweet.
Yeah, lovely, sweet final moment. I didn't expect for an episode that was kind of gag heavy and a little bit throwaway in a fun way. And yeah, sweet final moment to wrap it all up. And then we get our final little tag as well. It's Kent Brockman reporting that the Amnesty Blue Diamond is the most unethically mined gem in history, which is the diamond ring that Marge has. As she says, it took Frank Brockman says that it took 6 blue whales to color each carrot, and wearing it is an expression that you love misery. He's like, oh, I'll just wear it inside for a while, I guess. Great little way, like, oh, she had this lovely victory at the end that Homer knows about the ring and he's okay with it, but we can never give Marge too much victory, is that it's an ethically horrible ring and she can't wear it anymore. So just totally wasted that money. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty fun episode.
Yeah, no,
Not spectacular, but enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely loved the satire there to do with, like, you know, clothing and how economical it is and things like that.
Yeah, for sure, with the jeans and the diamond ring and everything.
I think that the strengths of the episode was the humour.
Yeah.
And obviously the depiction of Homer's guilt.
Yeah.
I like that the jeans take on the life of their own, and it gets more and more absurd.
For sure.
Marge's storyline sort of is not mind-blowing.
No.
It's like the usual Marge isn't satisfied with her marriage and personal life.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say, like, one of the standout moments was Homer's attempts to mediate Lisa's over-the-top psychoanalysis of Bart.
Yeah, it was fun.
Even though it's a simple premise, I would say the execution was clever.
Agreed. Yeah.
However, the jokes did feel too predictable, and likewise with Marge's storyline. But a fairly, like, there was uniqueness to the plot. So I still enjoyed the episode.
Yeah.
It's just, it was nothing special.
Definitely not.
So I would probably go with a 7.
7, sure.
7, yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I gave it an 8. But I have pretty similar feelings for you. I just might not be as harsh on my rating, but it absolutely wasn't anything special, but it just did everything well.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you don't mind an episode that isn't doing any spectacular ideas or isn't going very deep with its story, but it's just having fun.
Yeah,
that's all it was doing, but it was very consistently good gags. It just felt like a very classic, simple Simpsons episode. You know, it would be a decent introduction for somebody who's never seen The Simpsons. This is very,
I agree.
You know what I mean? It's like it's beat for beat like what you'd expect from a regular, like, it's a bog standard episode. But I didn't mind that it was.
No.
Like, it embraced that, you know? Yeah, I had good fun with it. Yeah. I said it's nothing special, but it was charming and fun. It was classic Homer. I thought the Oppenheimer sequence was brilliant. Yeah. It was just thrown randomly in the middle, but it was just fun and entertaining. It's not a storyline that would be interesting enough to be a full episode. It was just like a fun little, like, 5-minute moment that was really enjoyable. Just classic Mr. Burns. The Homer and Marge conflict in the episode we've seen before. Her feeling like he's being selfish and him feeling like he's not being grateful enough. But I thought it was solid. And the ending was, like, surprisingly, for how predictable, because we knew it was going to work out. Obviously, it's how every conflict ends. There's never going to be an episode that ends with them not getting back together. But I thought the ending was, like, really sweet and well written, like with the ring that he says he wished he bought it for her. I thought that was so sweet and nicely done. I said it was a very average plot, but it was heightened by consistently great gags and really solid pacing. Like, I never got bored.
No, that is true.
Yeah, it just kept moving. It was great. I thought the 2 songs were put in like the right place, like give a bit more momentum where maybe there wouldn't have been if there wasn't a big bit like that. I would say the 2 songs and the Oppenheimer moment helped to kind of boost the episode. If those weren't there and it was just the plot, it might have been a bit more boring. Those things kind of added a little extra spice to it. You know what I mean? Agree. Yeah, really, just fun episode that didn't do, like, I loved Remains of the Dead last week because it was like an episode that went deeper and was well written and different to your standard episode. But what was wonderful about this, it was just like a classic Simpsons.
It was,
you know,
it
was. Which sometimes we love that too.
Sometimes you need that.
Absolutely, yeah. No, really, really fun for sure. Yeah, cool. Jumping on to the news then. As usual, just 3 pieces of news this week actually. Always hate having to report on like sadder pieces of news, but I'm sure you saw this quite a while ago now, actually, probably nearly a month ago when this happened. But Tapped Out has officially shut down production and won't be adding any new levels.
Why is that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It seems like it was doing fine.
I thought it was doing fine too. Yeah, I honestly have no idea. I mean, you can still buy the game, and add updates and go. I don't know. They end up doing hundreds of levels. So maybe
they just won't continue it.
They won't continue any. They won't be making any new ones. There's no expansions anymore. Yeah, I guess there's just enough that if
it's a lot, to be fair.
There's loads. Yeah, I guess there's just enough that like if a newcomer comes around and starts the game from scratch, it's going to take them a long time before they finish it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I've heard rumors for a while that like EA are thinking of selling the property because EA owns gaming rights to The Simpsons. So this seems to kind of confirm that they're probably going to do that. And if they did, I'd be fine with that because EA hasn't really done anything creative.
Well, no, exactly.
With the rights to The Simpsons, Yeah, I feel like if they give it to a different company, we could potentially get another hit and run or
get something really cool.
Something like that. Yeah. That was a fun, very well made game and a very creative version of that concept of building your own town. And obviously getting to do with Simpsons, I loved and thought was really cool. But it was also a cash grab, clearly. That I feel like if they put it into a more creative company's hand, then they'll do something really unique with it. I know this wouldn't happen because they never buy IPs, but this is coming to my head as a cool potential possibility. If Rockstar bought The Simpsons, like what they could do with that, It's just a company that takes more risks than EA. EA is just so corporate.
Oh yeah, EA's a lot of pay for.
Yeah. You buy the game for free and you pay as you go on. Exactly.
I think a Simpsons game that's got a similar concept to Sims.
Yeah,
really cool, where you make your own family.
How have they never?
World, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they must have at least talked about doing that, but
yeah.
How great would that be when the pun's already there? Call it the Simpsons.
Yeah.
And it's just that concept, but in Springfield's fantastic. That would work so well. But yeah, there's so much cool things you can do with that world in a video game property. So I'm hopeful that if they actually do get bought out from a different group, that there's something cool that can happen there. Yeah. Cool. What else do I have? Fun little things really is Primark unveiled a stupid sexy Flanders Christmas jumper.
I haven't seen this.
You haven't? Oh, it's great.
I might have to get this though.
It's great.
I like my Christmas jumpers.
It's so good. The clip obviously. It feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. It doesn't say anything. It's just him in the skiing outfit showing his ass. That's the whole jumper. I think it's fantastic. I definitely want to buy it as well. And this one isn't fully Simpsons related. I just thought it was worth mentioning. Would recommend watching it if you're interested. Is Disney did the D23 Expo, which is their version of Comic-Con, and they did a panel for all the Fox adult cartoons. And so it was an interview conducted by Jason Mantzoukas with Matt Groening, Seth MacFarlane, Mike Judge, who created Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill, and I don't know his name, but the guy who created Bob's Burgers. So just a great interview. 20 minutes long. It's on YouTube. Just worth the watch. Yeah, worth the watch alone. Just seeing Matt Groening and Seth MacFarlane interacting with each other.
Yeah,
they had a great dynamic actually. Really liked their back and forth. It was it's a really fun, cool interview for fans of The Simpsons.
That's cool.
If you listen to this, you're obviously a fan of The Simpsons. It's definitely worth a listen. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Cool. Let's jump on to Seb's classics then.
Yeah, this week I went for a not so classic.
But a great episode and historical.
And because we had, even though I didn't pick this based on the episode we watched, but as we had a quite ordinary, not in a mean way, just a quite normal episode, I thought I'd go
sure.
For something more
broad.
out there.
Yeah, sure.
So
that
I went
makes sense.
for season 26, episode 6, Simpsorama.
Simpsorama.
And if you can't guess from the pun, it's the Simpsons crossover with Futurama.
Of course, yeah. I don't know, actually. I haven't ever really spoken to you about Futurama. Are you a fan? Have you watched it? Do you like it?
I've watched episodes. I've never sat down and worked through it from start to finish, but I used to watch it on TV.
Yeah, sure. You watch it in the classic way, on Channel 4.
And I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen the first episode.
For some reason,
I've seen that episode so many
That was just
times.
always on. It must have just been the cheapest episode or something.
Be.
It is on all the time. Yeah, I love Futurama. The new season came out recently, and I'm actually currently watching it, coincidentally.
Nice.
So, yeah, I love Futurama. I obviously prefer The Simpsons, but love everything Matt Groening does. And Futurama is great in a different way than The Simpsons, because there's like broader stories that they can do,
and it's different enough
with the sci-fi
to
setting.
not have to compare it.
Of course, they're so different. Yeah. This episode is obviously wonderful.
Yeah, this was a crossover event that brings the worlds of Simpsons and Futurama together in a very chaotic sci-fi adventure.
For sure.
Bender travels back in time to Springfield, stop the future catastrophe caused by Bart.
Yeah.
So I would say that this episode has a lot of clever gags.
Yeah.
A lot of fan service.
So yeah, some fun like breaking the fourth wall moments, like when Homer and Bender are both asleep on the couch, and he's like, "Oh, kill all humans," and Homer's like, "Sarah Flanders," and Bart and Lisa start pointing out that they look pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's like somebody just like got rid of Homer's hair and put an antenna on him. Pretty lazy, if you ask me.
It is funny how like how similar Homer and Bender are.
A lot of the designs are similar. Like, I mean, they kind of hinted at it with Professor Farnsworth and Professor Frink look similar. Yeah. Fry isn't too different to Bart. Like, there's definitely similarities with a lot of them. Yeah, but I like it.
I think that as well. Like, Bender is very similar to Moe. He's
like more sort of
Homer's idioticness with Moe.
Yeah, for sure. Because Homer's not an asshole, whereas Bender is a prick. Yeah, as is Moe. Yeah. That's very good actually. Yeah, Homer mixed with Moe is kind of Bender's personality. That's pretty bang on. Yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot of fun interactions between the characters, like Homer and Bender and Lisa and Layla.
Very fun. Yeah.
Whilst the plot can feel a bit rushed, I would say. And overly reliant on the references. The human chemistry between the cast make up for it.
Yeah,
and it's a very light-hearted celebration of the two beloved shows.
It is, and it kind of embraces the different senses of humours of both shows in a really good way. I thought,
it was definitely very difficult for them to pull off. So I think they did the right thing of kind of playing it safe and making it more like a reference fan service episode.
Yeah, it's silly and like dumb in a good way. Like the plot is kind of standard. Like nothing crazy happens because how much can you do with these two very different worlds crossing over in just 20 minutes? So they went to the simple thing that Bart, they're making a time capsule. Bart wants this time capsule to be a book that has his boogers in it. The boogers mutate over thousands of years and they become these like evil little gremlins that are like terrorizing the town of New York. There's fun little references there as well, like when they go to the future and Homer's just like, why you little, just cracking all their necks. And then Lisa tries to get them all to go to Madison Square Cube. And she's like, oh, there's Butterfingers in there, and people are getting their hands on them because Bart used to be a mascot for Butterfinger back in the 90s. Yeah. That was a joke there. So like fun little silly things like that consistently throughout. Yeah.
I would say I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. If it was a normal episode, I'd give it a 7. But just because of like the fact it's a crossover, I have to be a little bit lenient.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun, frantic. The crossover will appeal to fans of both series. Yeah, so I did enjoy it.
Yeah, totally. I think it's a fun episode if you only like one of the shows. Yeah. But obviously it pays off the most if you're a fan of both shows. I'd honestly be even more lenient and give it an 8.5. Wow. Like I can admire, like I can appreciate that it's not like, you know, incredibly well written. The plot isn't out of this world, but it's just fun to see these characters together and they embrace that, and there's great gags. Like I love the bit where Lisa's trying to figure out how time travel could be possible. Like how did they get here? And Farnsworth is like, oh, it's not possible. We came here through a portal, through Bender. And like, well, how did Bender get here? Time travel. It's just so stupid. Or like when Frick is like, oh, we should team up, because you know we're both professors, we're both geniuses. And Farnsworth is like, well, bear in mind that to me you're an idiot. Fun little, it's consistently fun little gags like that. Or Bender going horse betting because he knows who wins. Then he sees that one of the horses has the same name as him. So like, oh, well, it says here that he dies in the race, but that can't be true. I mean, his name is Bender. It has to be good luck. And then he sees that the horse is losing, just kills it. Yeah. He just cut the Wiggum. And Lou is like, oh, look, there's a robot killing a horse. Like, can I just have a day off for once? I was like, well, if you're off, why are you wearing a uniform? Because it's the only outfit that fits me now. There, you happy? Yeah, consistently fun gags with the characters throughout. Bender's obviously in it a lot more heavily than any other characters. Yeah. I mean, they even made that joke where everyone likes his one line each, and Zoiber's like, oh, looks like everybody here gets the line. That concludes my time. Just leaves me don't see him for the rest of the episode. Yeah, I agree with you. It's definitely not perfect, but it just like has fun and embraces the what's similar about the shows and what's different about them. Just has fun with that, with those two very different worlds. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, really, really liked it. Alrighty, let's jump on to Keep It Short. Yeah, want to say anything?
And Dillon knows all about keeping it short.
I thought you actually weren't going to say it this time.
No, I have to say it.
I had to say it for sure. Yeah, for people who don't know, this is a segment where every week I cover a different Tracy Ullman show short, doing it all in order, obviously. This one is called World War III. Originally aired November 22nd, 1987, and I would say this is the best one so far.
Do you think?
Yeah. You don't think?
Interesting. I think it's the most they've done with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a more established
the most
plot.
happening, yeah.
It's the classic boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, for
story
sure.
arc.
It's fun. It's obviously still not the Homer we know and love yet. Military fucking training Homer.
Literally.
Come on, it's World War III, guys. But yeah, there's the most going on. They had like clearer jokes rather than just like a stupid storyline where like they're making faces and that's it, or Bart gets a bad haircut and that's it. You know, there was more fun like character dynamics going on here, I thought. Yeah, we open up, Homer is startling the whole family, telling them that World War III has started, and they all run to their bunker. And he's like, 18 seconds. This is really a nuclear war? We'd all be dead by now. See that they're all just like shivering, really mad at him. He then wakes them all up again, trying it for the second time, and they're all less interested. And he's like, once again, your timing's off. Eesh, what a bunch of grumps. He tries it one last time. He says, if you're all fast enough this time, this will be the final drill. And he says that they're all close, and the next drill is in 3 hours. And then we cut to Bart waking up Homer himself this time. He says that World War III is really happening this time. And he runs straight for the bunker, and Marge traps him in there. And Lisa's like, are you sure about this, Mom? I'm thinking, well, I'm out in the morning. That's it. That was funny. Once again, family not being clear. Yeah, that's so not Homer. Marge would never do something like that, as we know her now. But it's a fun, different version of them. It had like it was a rule of threes, which was fun. Like we saw him do the drill 3 times. There was like more clearer, like kind of comedy jokes going on this time, I thought. And the animation was better as well. One of the best we'd seen yet. And yeah, no, I had fun with it.
That's fair.
I had fun with it. Yeah, it was weird to think though. It was the World War III joke is like, I know it was like 40 years after, but still a little bit recent. Yeah, still like a little bit recent. Like make a World War III joke now, and it's like yeah, whatever. But a little bit, it probably still felt like more of a possibility in 1987. You know what I mean? The World War III could happen. But I guess that was always The Simpsons too, and what it would go on to become even more. It addresses like anxieties that the Americans have and stuff like that. You know, so it makes sense to what the show would become. Yeah, I thought that was pretty fun. Alrighty, let's do the 10 questions.
Oh yeah, 10 questions where Dillon has to guess what Simpsons character I'm thinking of with 10 questions.
Always love it.
He can guess in the meantime, but on the 11th he has to have a guess.
Yeah.
It could be niche, it could be not niche, and it could be a one-off character.
Could be Bart.
Could be Bart.
But probably not.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah, cool. Alright. As always, just in case, is it a member of the family?
No.
Is it a male?
Yes.
Is it an adult?
Yes.
Okay, it's an adult. Would I associate this character through Homer?
No.
No. Not through Homer. Do they work in the school?
No.
No. Are they only in one episode?
No.
They're not only in one episode. Adult? Is it a human being?
Yes.
They don't work in school. I don't know them through Homer. Do I know the character mainly through Bart?
No.
No? Oh man. Maybe I won't get it this time.
We got 2 more.
I know.
Questions.
I'm not even close, really. I associate the character through not through Homer, not through Bart. They don't work in the school. Would I associate the character through Lisa?
No.
What? Oh man, I need a more
This
a
was such
clearer
a chance
question.
because you could have easily asked questions that would have got you closer. It just happens that you haven't.
And I'm nowhere near.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
have
get it
one
unless
question
I'm
and you're nowhere
super
near.
lucky. Oh man. Okay. Are they like an important figure in Springfield?
No.
Damn it. By important figure, I mean like not a mayor or historical icon of some sort, a celebrity. Okay, not any of those things.
No. So now you just have to guess.
Oh man, I'm not gonna get it.
All that information. I'm gonna try and signal it to you.
I don't know it through Homer. I wouldn't associate it with Homer, Bart, or Lisa. I didn't ask about marriage, but I feel like it's not marriage either. They don't work in the school. Oh shit! You got me, man. They're in more than one episode. It's the only person that's coming into my head. I'm sure it's not this person because they were in this episode, so why would you do this? But the yes guy.
No.
Who was it?
Jasper.
Jasper! Ah!
You see what I mean? You were just kind of nowhere near with them questions.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Just
associate
none
it
of
with
them
Homer.
Made it like an old man.
Jasper Beardley. God damn it, yeah. Nice. I actually even thought about asking
if it's grandpa, like assimilated with grandpa.
Yeah, which you would have said yes to, but I just saw like, nah, it's probably not.
And he's the most like common old man associated
With grandpa, so if you said him, I would have said Jasper. Yeah. God damn it. Oh well. You got me good that time. Fair play.
I did.
Nicely done. Alrighty. Let's jump over to the recommendations.
Yeah.
Can you get a double whammy this time? You won last
See.
week. Rock, paper, scissors. I'm afraid not, Mr. Sanger. Alrighty, my first recommendation, 2 movies this week, is Anora.
Anora.
Yeah, you heard of it?
I've not kept up to date with movies.
Sure.
Honestly.
I somehow hadn't heard this movie either. I saw that it won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival, and I read a review where someone said the best way to watch this movie is to just go in blind. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that for once. I'm not going to watch a trailer or give myself information about the movie. I'm just going to see it. But in the moment the film started, I knew nothing about it. The moment the film started, written and directed by Sean Baker. I was like, okay, I'm in for a good ride.
Yeah.
You know Sean Baker, obviously,
I do.
Florida Project and
Yeah.
A Red Rocket. Haven't seen Florida Project, actually. I need to because
It's
love...
really, really.
Yeah, I need to check it out because I love Red Rocket.
More like bleak than Red Rocket.
Oh, you seen Red Rocket as well?
No, but I know
Oh.
it's more funny and
Yeah,
even though it's serious.
Goes to
it's
some
more-
darker, bleak areas, but still pretty funny.
the
Yeah,
Florida
yeah.
Project is more or less like a bleak movie.
Sure. Yeah, Red Rocket I thought was a fantastic movie. I like Anora even more. I mean, it won the Palme d'Or. It's critically acclaimed.
I also
It's-
respect anyone that films on film.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the film looks stunning, but like not in a... Because they had a lot of money.
it's
and
got a gritty look to it.
Yeah, yeah, and he's so good at depicting just like the rough, like working class life in America. Does it so well, and yeah, Anora is just a wonderful film. So the basis of this movie is it's about a woman who works in a strip club. The woman playing Anora, I don't know her name, she's amazing in it. She gets involved with a guy who is the son of a Russian oligarch, and he becomes obsessed with her, falls in love with her, but the family of this Russian oligarch obviously aren't cool with the son falling in love with a prostitute. And it basically kind of turns into like the plot of Pretty Woman, but if that really happened. Because in Pretty Woman it's like, oh, she's a prostitute, we don't care, we love you, you're great. Whereas if it happened in real life, especially with a family born into wealth like that who are criminals, they'd be like, no, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? And yeah, it's done so well. Something happens about halfway into the movie and it just becomes chaos from that point onwards in just like the best way. Like, you know a movie's good when you just like, you're not thinking about anything else. Like, I'm just like 100% focused on the movie and like what's going to happen next. I'm at the edge of my seat. It's done so well. You can see it's just like Sean Baker at like the peak of his powers, really proving like how his style works and owning it, and it's just done so well in this movie. I couldn't recommend it enough. It's so good.
Sounds great.
And it would be criminal if they didn't get some Oscar and award show recognition.
I'm gonna check this out.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, get on it for sure. But yeah, well, what is your recommendation then?
My recommendation is a book.
Nice.
I know you follow me on Goodreads, so you might
do.
you might know. But I'm going to recommend a book, quite a famous book.
Yeah.
How to Win Friends and Influence People. By Dale Carnegie. Are you familiar with this book?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
And just to address, like, when I say to someone a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, the title sounds very like sociopathic. Like you're reading of how to gain friendships and influence people. That sounds a bit mad. It's not.
No, I know it's a popular book. Yeah,
because in my opinion, the book's more so about how to become the best version of yourself, which naturally brings people towards you.
Yeah,
and it's not like I'm seeking friends and seeking power over people. It's just actually life's a lot easier when you become that best person of yourself. And it also teaches you how to be better to people. So like one example the book teaches is like when you meet people for the first time is like always remembering their name. Because
you're talking about this,
yeah, because for example, if I just met you at work, and the next time I come in I'm like, oh, you're right, Daniel.
Yeah.
You would instantly lose so much respect for me because you're like, you didn't even remember my name.
Or even if you're just like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then what was your name again?
Yeah.
Even that's just kind of like, oh.
So it's like in conversation, like always saying someone's name a lot to them makes them gain a lot of respect for you, makes them feel a lot more at ease. And another thing is always asking people about themselves. Not like people, especially nowadays, have a habit of like meeting people
just talking about
and
themselves.
They think they're meant to just be telling them about themselves, like
oh,
I do this, I do that, I do that.
So true.
Instead, because if the other person is in the right mindset, they're also going to be asking you about yourself. You need to be selfless and just ask this new person about them. And that's going to bring them closer to you and feel more comfortable. There's a lot more lessons in the book, but yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And I would say it's probably a self-help book. It teaches you how to become the best person of yourself. And it's just got really valuable life lessons, I think, for everyone. I would say young men specifically. This is a really important book.
Nice.
But yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll definitely add to my list. I'm getting really into like reading more self-help books recently and find them helpful. I know that's one like a lot of gurus on YouTube and stuff recommend. Yeah, very well known. Yeah, so definitely want to check it out. I'll add to my list. And you know what an idiot I am? I never realised that the Simon Pegg movie, How to Lose Friends and Alienate People, is obviously
like a
reference to that book. Yeah, that's the joke. Like, I never realised that. That's funny. But yeah, awesome. My next recommendation is just the movie. Yours are always like really deep stuff. I'm just like, this movie's fun. Check it out.
It's alright.
No, it's different. That's the fun of the recommendations. It can be anything.
That's
you know?
okay, Dylan.
Yeah,
no worries, Dylan.
It's okay that I'm not challenging myself as much
of course,
as you
Dylan,
are.
that's fine, Dylan. See, I'm using... No,
yeah, but in a very patronising way. Not in a charming way at all. But yeah, my final recommendation is Smile 2.
Smile 2?
Yeah. Did you see the first Smile?
I didn't, but I know people were absolutely terrified. It
was a really good movie. There was a lot of good horrors in 2022, I remember. Like, there was like that and The Black Phone, Barbarian, Halloween Ends, and I would say like of those standout horrors, Smile was the worst one. So good, but the worst one. Whereas Smile 2, best horror of the year. A genuinely fantastic and a rare like great horror sequel. It builds on everything that the first movie kind of set up and that world and just heightens it. It's scarier. The lead character is more compelling. And the stakes just feel higher. It's so well done. The most scared I've been in a cinema, I think, ever.
Mad.
Just gave me genuine chills. Like, I felt unsafe, like in a fun way. You know, it was just genuinely terrifying. Beautiful film. The sound is amazing. Like, I know horror movies don't usually get award recognition, but it deserves recognition for the sound.
That's good, because that's quite an underappreciated thing about horror films, is how important the sound
actually is. To
creating an atmosphere.
And getting you petrified. Yeah, it's done so well. It's really disturbing noises like go into your ear and stuff, but it's part of the experience. Like, it brings you into the mind of the lead character as she's going through this curse. It's so well done. And then it ends with an ending that's clearly setting up another movie, but it's like exciting, and it's also like, I don't know how they're going to make that a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the end, I'm just like, I don't get how there has to be another one now, but I don't know how you're gonna do a movie of that. Like it's just exciting. I like it being like that was just a great, exciting experience at the movies. I saw it on my own, but it was a sold out screen. Like you could feel yourself there with the audience, just like being so like. Just that's what makes horrors in a cinema such a nice experience. Yeah, and Smile Dude is one of the best ones I've had in recent memory for sure. Just couldn't recommend it enough for horror buffs. So good. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Yeah. All right.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. Any others from you?
Yeah, I've got a recommendation for a YouTube video.
Okay.
That might lead you into more. But it's called Be a Loser.
That's good advice.
And it's on the YouTube channel, if anyone is wondering, called The Pursuit of Wonder. And it's a video about the philosophy of a man called Henry David Thoreau.
Yeah.
And essentially, he was like a I would say a philosopher. He wrote a lot of books, and he's a big naturalist. Like, he believes life, should be lived in the most natural way possible and close to Earth.
Yeah.
And essentially,
not a name. Don't know how.
The video is kind of about. I think it's especially important now is for people to kind of accept that you don't have to be special, and you don't have to, live life at 100 miles per hour. Sometimes you are just better suited to a natural, cozy life. And he's like, for example, some of the books he's written is like Civil Disobedience, Solitude, How to Live Deliberately. It's just about living closer to yourself, closer to Earth, and just embracing kind of being what people would call a loser. In the modern world.
I love that. It's great advice.
It's I think it's important for people to understand, because like I was addressing earlier, like young men are seeing a lot of things online that make them feel like they have to be a millionaire in order to escape this system.
So true.
I agree. We're in a system. We're being controlled.
Yeah, and money can obviously help you get out of that. Yeah,
there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing to do really is to just try and find a way to kind of live separate from that, but not, aspiring for absolute wealth. And at the end of the day, if you've seen someone online teach you how to be rich because that's the only way to escape, you have now been influenced by them to live the way they think life's meant to be lived.
And also those people are usually just scamming you.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just live close to yourself and live a natural life. Essentially,
it's great advice. Be a loser. I mean, I think I've definitely embraced that.
Yeah.
It took me time, obviously, because you, especially growing up, you feel like you have to be like everybody else and stuff like that. I remember a really big important moment for me, just something I still remember to this day, was in an acting class. I think it was in my drama degree in second year. Is we were like discussing like, what actors inspire us and stuff like that, and I said Daniel Day-Lewis just because he's a safe answer that I knew no one would like critique me on. And my lecturer at the time was like, Dylan, I can tell that you're a nerd and it's okay to be a nerd, just embrace that. Like she said, like, I feel like you're just saying Daniel Day-Lewis because he's safe. He's a great actor, but I feel like there's someone you admire more. And it's like, who actually comes to your head when you think about actors who inspire you? And I was like, I love Jim Carrey because he's an amazing character actor and his physicality is fantastic. I love Robin Williams because he's able to do comedy and drama so well. I love Will Ferrell. I think he's naturally funny. And I just like came out of myself because she encouraged me to.
Wow, that was a big moment in the arc of your story.
It honestly was. She just said, I could tell you you're a nerd and just be a nerd.
Love that from her.
Brilliant. Yeah. Just saw who I was so clearly and just said, don't fake ass me this fucking Daniel Day-Lewis
bullshit. Doesn't have to be this dramatic big name Hollywood iconic.
Someone
even though they are.
Yeah, someone who the world will agree is a great actor. Like, just tell me who you think is a great actor. And I immediately was like, I love Jim Carrey, I love Rob Williams. They're people who genuinely inspire me, And 100%. Then the moment she gave me that invitation, I came on myself so much more. Like I still remember that moment so clearly. Yeah, great lecturer. To be able to kind of see who somebody is and push them to be themselves more. Brilliant teacher. One of the best I had in that degree for sure.
I think someone asked me not too long ago, like, what does... I think a lot of people think that like philosophy is really depressing and it's like telling you the truth about life. And if I could try and describe what philosophy is, I would say it's learning to cope with the fast-pacedness of life.
Absolutely.
You know, because different philosophies mean different things to certain people. Some people love the Stoic mentality, and power to them.
Yeah.
You know, it's learning sort of how to deal with life in your own way. I think that's what philosophy is.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's the thing. I feel like people are afraid of stuff like reading about philosophy or even meditating or stuff like that because they feel like that's like admitting that they could be better, they're not okay, and that's like a sign of weakness. Like, no, it's not. And people also look down on like stuff like therapy or meditation because they feel like it's like them having to perfect themselves. But it's not the case. Like what meditation does, which I do, is it just helps you to cope with your anxiety.
Yeah.
It's
giving you a peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because anxiety is a lot of things going on in your head.
Of course. It's also always going to be there. We're never not going to have a little bit of anxiety towards the world or whatever else, but meditating and slowing down is what helps you to cope with it and understand that it's okay and it's natural and everybody else goes through it. Yeah, I'd recommend it to everybody, and it really should be something that's taught in schools and stuff. It's
100%.
absolutely insane that's not really when you think about it. Like how much it's helped me is as soon as I started actually reading about it and taking time to meditate and stuff like that. We won't get into that right now.
Or medicate through meditate.
There you go. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, how much that's helped me. It's like, oh my god, if this had been introduced to me when I was in school and was feeling anxious about everything, I feel like I would have been better off earlier on in life.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's really important. It should be taught.
100%.
As well, like addressing the philosophy thing, like people might be like, it's so depressing, like Jean-Paul Sartre said, you know, nothing really matters, so what's the point of it anyway? I think
it's how you're perceiving that quote, though.
And someone,
I actually see that as quite positive.
Well, exactly. And I think, I can't remember which philosopher it was, but they were saying, like, something about, like, nothing really matters, so what's the point of... I can't remember, it was like something really depressing about what's the point of living if none of this matters kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, people have to understand, whether they mean that in the way you think it or not, that to them was really reaffirming to the way they wanted to live their life.
Exactly.
You know? So, but yeah, as well, saying nothing matters, what's the point of it anyway, could actually be really like reaffirming to be like, yeah, so why... I might as well just go for it.
Yeah. Totally. I remember watching an interview with George Carlin, old comedian from the 70s and 80s, where the interviewer asked, like, what's your biggest advice to, like, aspiring comedians? And he said, just give less of a shit. It's like, it's honestly true. It's just, once you just stop caring about, like, what individual people think of you, or just overthinking the whole process and just doing it, like, it's as simple as that. You know what I mean?
My word, have I been there.
Oh, like, absolutely. Caring way too much.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things, genuinely, one of the hardest things in life is to break out that cycle of caring what other people think of you.
Yeah.
It's so difficult.
But it's so freeing.
It can't even be taught.
Oh, no,
it's
of course not. It's
genuinely something you have to figure out.
But it's so freeing when it happens.
Yeah.
I'm just realising I can't control what people think about me, so why the fuck do I care? You know, just keep doing my thing. People will like it, some people won't. You know, either way, whatever, is going to keep doing my thing. Absolutely. Love that. Alright, let's wrap it up with some questions then. Two nice questions. First comes from our good old buddy Dave Lynch, guest of the podcast a while ago. Yeah, Mr. Gay Gag. Nice question, just Desert Island Simpsons episode. So it can only be one. Tricky, huh?
Desert Island one, so one that I would have to watch.
That's the thing. Yeah. Tricky, isn't it?
Star is Burns.
Interesting. Would you say that's your favorite episode?
I don't know what my penultimate favorite is. It's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
I would go for that one just because it's got a lot of replay value.
The whole town gets involved.
Exactly.
There's so much going on, and obviously for you, it's a great Mr. Burns episode.
Exactly. So if I do like meet some Amazon tribe, you know, I can show them the Simpsons. They'll completely understand it. So they'll be like, "Oh, this character does this. This character does."
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Boo Earns. That'd be great. Yeah. I mean, not a surprising answer from me at all, but I think I would have to go for Homer Goes to College.
That's fair.
Yeah, Homer Simpson is my favorite fictional character of all time, and that's just like classic Homer at the very best. Like, just Homer in college is just such a perfect situation, and it's just done so perfectly in that episode. Amazing script from Conan O'Brien. Just joke after joke, light-hearted, feel-good, funny episode that, yeah, if I'm trapped on a desert island, using that hypothetical, it would cheer me up whenever I turn to it. Yeah.
It's amazing.
100%, yeah, I love it so much. So yeah, great question, thank you, Dave. And the other one comes from By Mr. Plow, one of the best, no offense guys, one of the best Simpsons Instagram pages that's followed us yet, I think. He's just an illustrator who does these very unique Simpsons drawings. I'd recommend people check out his page. Really great stuff. And it's clearly listened to the podcast because he asked a very specific question here. What will you do when you run out of classic episodes? I mean, the first thing I would say is just it's probably not going to happen.
I don't know if we can as well, because even if somehow we caught up, there's always going to be, like, whatever new episode there is, it means there's going to be an older one. Yeah. So eventually I would just be doing maybe even episodes we did already if it goes that far.
Yeah, but like, their opinion could change. We could have like new takes on those episodes. Simpsons Classics, I think, like, there's segments that we have that like they might go away. Like, you know, 10 questions might get stale and we replace it with something else. I'm always open to that, but I think Simpsons Classics will always stay because it's just a good segment to have.
So what will we do? If somehow we don't, we would just have a new segment, I think.
Yeah, I would still have it be similar to what we do with Says Classics. Maybe we just do a movie instead, or an episode of a TV show that's similar to The Simpsons. Yeah, exactly. Family Guy or South Park or something. Futurama. But yeah, realistically, I don't see it happening.
We have spoken about before, like whether I address like a old SpongeBob episode or something.
Yeah,
instead.
I wouldn't be against it. It's called Seb's Classics, so it's not like it has to be Simpsons. But people expect Simpsons, but it could be a fun thing to try out sometime. But immediately I don't actually see this being a problem, because we started doing the show together on the show's 701st episode, which leaves us 700 episodes we can do. We haven't even scratched the surface. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a cool question. I appreciate the concern.
What was the guy's Instagram name?
By Mr. Plow.
By Mr. Plow.
Yeah.
Shout out to
BY.
BY.
Not like he's a bisexual Mr. Plow.
Or not a goodbye.
Although Mr. Plow would be a good name for a bisexual.
True. What a great stud name.
Yeah. He got the same jacket. Leave the jacket on, you know.
Shout out to By Mr. Plow, because it's actually nice to get questions that sort of confirms we do have frequent listeners
and like listeners who are like genuine Simpsons fans, which are cool. He has great drawings. Like he has one of like that balloon that Bart made in the Comet episode. That's like, "Hi, I'm Big Butt Skinner." Like a fun little animation he did of that. He did a drawing of the Mr. Burns alien from the X-Files episode. But they're like fun little like artistic recreations of those classic moments. It's really, really great page. So that's definitely awesome. Recommend checking him out. And yeah, thank you for a question that, as you said, just shows he's actually listening. So
we love it.
Yeah, absolutely love that. But yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. We will chat you all really soon. And great stuff.
Great stuff. Sayonara.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.